The Steelheaders fish boil is a long-standing tradition at the Blueberry Festival. Schools of hungry fish lovers come to eat boiled potatoes, onions, and salmon smothered in butter. We caught up with a couple of these loyal Steelheaders to give us the dish on the fish boil.
Well, the fish boil is an event we have every year at the Blueberry Festival every year. It's been going on probably for 40 years with the Steelheaders. I've been doing it for probably 30 years myself, organizing it. Before that, it was Irv Tucker who did it for quite a few years. And it's a fundraiser for the community. We do a lot of paybacks to the community. We do the Light Up the Light fireworks, scholarship funds, kids basketball, or not baseball, soccer, just a lot of community activities we've turned back to the community.
It all started back when Ron McCandless was fighting the power plant, and he came down to Nichols Landing and he put on a fish boil at the landing. And at that time it was called Wisconsin Fish Boil. And the reason it was called a Wisconsin Fish Boil, it started out in the fish tugs in Wisconsin were, at that time, they used to have coal-fired pot-bellied stoves on the fish boats. And they'd go out in the winter time and fish pull their nets, and then when they'd take their lake trout and fillet them and put them in a pot on the top of the pot-bellied stove and boil their fish with a bunch of salt in it. And that's where it all started. Okay. And from there, we've gone a little more modern. We use gas-fired burners, and it's become a standard. Most every harbor has it now.
Well, when we first did this about 30 years ago, when I started, we had 500-600 people. Man, we thought that was great. We've doubled that. We're up to 1,100 to 1,200 people a year now. And you can see we needed a lot of space and a lot of good help. You know, we've always had good help here. And got the women involved in it the last few years, I say last 5 or 6. Put a little touch into the tables, the organization. They organize the tables for us, you know, keep us in line. Well, it takes everybody. It starts when you get the fish from the tournament. It takes the captains, you know, to help donate the fish, cleaning the fish. It takes a couple days to clean all the fish from our tournaments. You know, everybody does a little bit. They're not all here. Some of the guys peel the onions, and they did that at 12 o'clock today. And there's probably a dozen of those. And then you get about 25 workers down here. It takes a good group of guys in and out, maybe 40, 50 people to do it.
Well, my job is to take care of the timing of the fish and the potatoes and the onions. It all involves timing. You got to have your boil going, and the total time is 32 minutes. But the potatoes and the onions are in there for 20 minutes before you put your fish in. And after 20 minutes of boiling with your fish or rather your potatoes and onions, then you put your fish in for 12 minutes. And then everything is done. And then it's just a matter of putting the butter on it and eating it.
All the guys we talked to said that Ed had the most important job at the fish boil.
Well, I don't believe so. It's something that's got to be done, yes. But them guys over there is the ones that's really hustling and really doing their job. So, you can see it starting to foam now. Well, that means that I had to turn it down so that we didn't want it to boil over or burn, you know. Other than that, that's all there is to it. And you just got to keep an eye on it, and it pretty well does itself.
The butter boy, he's the captain's joy. He stirs the pot, keeps it hot, happy finds your dinner.